Everything you think is real does not exist. At least not in the way you think it does. But right now, you're sitting in a theater built for one person, you. It's your own private theater that pipes in sounds, feelings, tastes, smells, things you can see, and is so good at doing this that you're believing right now that it's real. One of the most fundamental principles, something we'll come into more, is you can't work with someone as a hypnotist who's got pain unless you have a medical referral. And the main reason for that is you don't know what's wrong with them. You can't diagnose a condition, right? And if you were to mask the pain and the condition becomes worse, you can see how that would not be a good thing. You have to take care of your clients, and the best way to take care of them, or the first thing you do to take care of them, is make sure that they've been through adequate medical treatment first, so whatever is left is something that medicine is incapable of dealing with. Does that make sense to you guys? Right? So something you guys should know is, apart from Gary, who I had a brief chat with, I really don't know in terms of what experiences you're having. So I can't make any promise in terms of who I'll use, how I'll use you. I will talk to every one of you to get a sense of where you're at. And then my priorities in terms of what we're doing here, I've got to let people see how the whole thing works. So I'll probably choose the best person. If there's time to do another person, then maybe work with another person as well. But please accept my apologies if you're not the one for today. It's nothing personal. It's more to do with making it easy for people to understand how pain control works. Is that cool with you guys? In the meantime, just chill out there and just be a regular hypnotist like everyone else so that you can see it from both sides of the coin, right? Okay, so the best place to start is with the realization. It will sound somewhat metaphysical when I begin, but it's not. Everything you think is real does not exist. At least not in the way you think it does. Right now you're sitting here, you're looking at me, you're hearing my words, you know you're in this room on this ship, you feel the chair, and all these different things. You have a million associations to your own lifetime to know what chairs are for, right? What shoes are for, and all these different things, right? But right now, you're sitting in a theater built for one person, you. It's your own private theater that pipes in sounds, feelings, tastes, smells, things you can see, and is so good at doing this that you're believing right now that it's real. Has anyone here ever had a dream which felt so real you didn't realize you were dreaming until you woke up afterwards and thought, my God, I was dreaming? Anyone had that sort of thing? Most people do. Some are fortunate enough to do it on a regular basis. Because when you do and you realize you're dreaming, hell, you can do whatever you want. There's no consequences. It's called lucid dreaming. For those of you who've had a lucid dream like this, would it not be fair to say that when you have one of these dreams, it actually seems more real than your everyday life? It's like you look at the floor and the floor is filled with significance even though you can't quite make sense of it. Would that be fair to say? Well, if you have those kind of dreams where you can touch things, smell them, taste them, see them, hear them, more clearly, more sharply, with less interference than when you're normally awake, then it's really easy to see that everything that's happening right now is just is exactly the same kind of hallucination, as we would call it, or as more traditional people, shamanism, would say. You're just having a different dream right now. This is a dream just as the other is. Now those dreams are all fed by things. For example, you're falling asleep at night, the phone rings. What happens inside your dream? Doesn't someone call you? Is there a big telephone there? You lie in bed at night and you're thirsty. What happens inside your dreams? Don't you go searching for water? So there is an interplay between your physical mechanism and your psychological experience. But that goes both ways. You've all had days where, you know, the world's battered you around a bit, haven't you? Would that not be fair to say? You come home licking your wounds, and typically, what's the one thing you want to do above all else? Shut the world out, curl up in a ball, go to sleep. Isn't that really the ultimate defense? It's a healing practice. It really is. But what happens whilst you're asleep? Have you ever noticed that there comes a point where you let go of everything, all the things that happened during that day, and you're cocooned safely in whatever sleep does for you, whatever it brings to you. A warm glow surrounds you. You forget about the troubles of the day. You forget about the aches and the pains. Your body could be sore from physical activity or something else, but you lose track of that. Would that not be fair to say? So it's a two-way feedback loop. The things that happen in the outside environment, there's no way you have any concept what's going on right now, except for how it impacts upon your body, your eyes, your ears, your skin, your muscle, your nostrils, your tongue. It impacts upon these things, sends a little electrical signal. It turns into little chemicals that jump across the synaptic gap, and another electrical signal comes. It's a relay race up your spine into your brain. Such a complex thing. It's a surprise you get to feel anything at all. It works. But the system can get confused sometimes. It can work too efficiently or go the other way. You wake up in the middle of the night. You've heard something. You get startled. The noise does not belong. Your heart starts racing, doesn't it? You get a physical reaction. You're lying in bed and you're straining your ears as though it were another person you can send downstairs to check things out for you. You'd rather have your hearing do that than take the risk physically, don't you? You're straining, and now every little creak in the house is amplified. You've increased your normal senses because something caught your attention this way. Eventually you have to get up. You walk downstairs cautiously. No one's there to see you, so you may as well just creep around the corner rather than walking comfortably as you normally do inside your own home. Your whole behavior has changed because of something you think is going on, whether or not it is. And here's the best part. You walk into that room and you see someone standing in the corner and you are terrified. Until the light comes on and you realize that's just the coat you left there. The whole scenario, the fear, the stress, the creeping around, all happened in your mind first. And you perceived exactly what you expected to perceive. And we've all done this, haven't we? To understand how to help someone diminish pain, reduce it, or eradicate it, you must fundamentally understand that to even be aware that pain exists is such a complex procedure. There are many things that can happen in between. The body will tell the mind that something's wrong. That's what the pain does, it's a signal. The mind then tells the body what to do with it. A friend of mine loves wolves, is a conservationist. Maybe 10, 15, 20 years back, as a young man. He's out on the mountains of Slovenia or Slovakia, I forget which. There are still wild wolves living there out in the mountains. He's out with a friend of his. They have their backpacks and their gear. They're wading through, knee-high snow. His back goes out. He can barely stand. Now they have a simple choice. Lie there and die, or walk out. And it wasn't easy. But at some point, the experience he had switched, and he was so busy walking through the snow, he forgot to experience any pain. Was his pain still there? Maybe. Probably. Who knows? The point is, every experience is malleable. And all it requires is an extreme enough situation for experience to shift, to open the doors to things that are not normally allowed. Our brains need to keep reality stable so we can make sense of things, so we can predict things, so we can move through the world in harmony rather than chaos. It's a good function to have that stability inside the mind.